It's Richard Southern here. All the markets are closed today for the long weekend, and that gives us the chance to pause and look at some of the business stories that may have been flying under the radar the past couple of days. Let's start with the hot button topic of groceries. And it appears all those rising prices are really adding up. The majority of Canadians are now being forced to cut back. That's according to a recent survey by Yahoo Marrow Blue Public Opinion. The poll found that 60% of respondents have had to scale back and buy less food or skip on pricier items like red meat or snacks. Data released in February shows food prices have jumped by more than 7% year on year in Canada, the largest annual increase in 13 years. While we may be cutting back on groceries, that doesn't mean Canadians are growing less generous. In fact, we're actually tipping more at restaurants and other service spots, according to electronic payment company Square. Before the pandemic, the average customer was tipping about 16.6%. During the first 3 months of this year, the figure has risen to nearly 18%. The most generous tippers live in Alberta and the Prairies, followed closely by Quebec and Ontario. Meanwhile, Mattel is taking steps towards curbing climate change. The toy maker has released a line of carbon-neutral products, including a Matchbox Tesla model that's made out of recycled items. As part of this move, Mattel has purchased carbon offsets from Canada's Darkwood Forest Conservation Project to help offset some of the emissions that come with producing the toys. Some climate experts are criticizing that action, pointing out that fossil fuels are still being used to create the toys. Still, this is just a first step. Mattel says all of its products and packaging will be made from recycled or biodegradable plastics by the end of the decade. And speaking of buying toys, do you remember Kmart? The department store chain folded up shop here in Canada in the 90s, and it looks like the same thing is now happening south of the border. A Kmart store in New Jersey is set to permanently close tomorrow. That will leave only 3 remaining locations in the U.S. Kmart used to be an American powerhouse, boasting more than 2,000 stores, but customers have shifted to other giants like Walmart and Target, and of course Amazon. Richard Southern, City News.
This is City News Everywhere.